It went by so fast. We are actually already at the mid-season finale. Let's talk about it. There's a whole lot to discuss.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 2 of Queen Sugar, and this is, like I said, the mid-season finale. A whole lot of things went on. First of all, you know, when we left out last time, there was the big blow up between the siblings. Last we saw Nova. Nova was actually on her way to Atlanta to see Dr. Robert Dubois. And I was here for it. I was definitely here for it. I'm like, girl, go get your life. And it was so cute. He, you know, she's coming into the airport. She got off the plane, got her luggage, everything. She's coming down. And you know how sometimes you'll be in the airport and people are standing with signs like for exchange students and different things like that to meet up with them. And he was standing down at the bottom of the escalator, baby, with a sign that said Queen on it. I said, yes, yes, yes. He knows just what to do. Do you understand me? Just what to do. And that leads me to the next time that we seen them. They were in the parking lot, baby, and he was, you know, telling her that he was so glad to see her and this, that, thing, and the other, and that he wanted her there, you know, that he definitely wanted her there and that he wants her now, honey. And she was like, good, honey, take me, honey, and got her ass in the back seat, baby, and let him have it. Literally. I was here for that too. I said, okay, Nova, you know, I ain't usually down for that quick fucking type of shit. Whatever. Shit happens. Don't judge me, honey. But I was here for it. I was like, I am feeling it for these two. I love that little relationship. Next, we see Charlie, and Charlie is doing a whole lot of reevaluation, a lot of self evaluation, and a lot of self-education. She's learning a lot about herself, and she's exploring different sides of herself. She was just, and it was something so small as she was getting out of the shower. She's getting ready to, you know, blow dry her hair out, and just decided, I'm going to do me. I'm do what everybody else is doing around here. And she just let her hair out natural. And it looked beautiful. It really did. It looked really good. Micah just kept staring. They were sitting out having breakfast, and Micah just kept staring at his mother. And it's so funny. That just goes to show you how long it's been, as long as he's been in the world, and she doesn't wear her hair in its natural state at all. She just doesn't even, just don't even explore that, you know what I mean? And that's definitely an option. Beautiful head of hair. And he just kept looking at his mom and smiling. And she's like, what, Micah? It's just natural. That's all. It's just in its natural state. That's all. And he's like, I don't know. I like it. It looks good. So I'm like, okay, Charlie, cool. You know, it's cool. And I'm loving where the relationship between Charlie and Micah is. Absolutely loving it. They are definitely on that mother-son thing, you know. So I'm loving that. Okay, so next we actually see, we haven't seen Hollywood. Hollywood's just kind of like around. We see Aunt Vi. Aunt Vi is looking very stressed, flat out. Aunt Vi looks stressed. She is basically at her wit's end with the siblings. She said, you know, it's been several days, you know, have gone by, and the siblings aren't, I think it's been a couple weeks actually, have gone by. The siblings aren't talking. They're not communicating at all. And Nova's gone on off you, because that's, again, Nova goes away. Is when the shit hits the fan, Nova goes away. She's at her wit's end with it. Hollywood's telling her, you need to back off of those kids and let them, they're grown, let them figure it out. You're stressing yourself out, and it don't need to be done, because they got to figure that out. You can't do it for them. They're not children anymore. And she's like, listen, they're all I have. I'm all they have. And this is what my brother would have me to do. Shit. And I feel you. She is the matriarch of their family. Period. There's really no ins, outs, and ands or buts about it. She is the matriarch of the family. It is her job, as long as she's breathing, to try to keep that family together. Okay, Vi. I can't even disagree with her. But she definitely looks stressed. And just remember that I said that, and we're going to revisit that. Ralph Angel ends up calling. She's washing dishes and carrying on. And she's real stern with Ralph Angel. See, because Ralph Angel, Ralph Angel in the last couple episodes has kind of made it to where I ain't liking Ralph Angel very much. And I told y'all last episode how I was kind of feeling that he had a lot of traits that his dad had. And I was like, ooh, Papa Borderline wasn't really my type of dude at the end of the day. A little much, kind of a lot like the ones that's in my family. But anyway, okay, so Ralph Angel calls on Vi. Vi told him, listen, I got time for this bullshit. I told your ass, don't go down this road. What you do, snatch the keys and go jump in the car, and you flew on down this road. So you fix it, Ralph Angel. You fix it. I want to hear it. I ain't getting in it. And he said, I ain't trying to get you in there, but Charlie ain't taking my calls. And the thing is, he don't give a fuck. He's just fussing because Charlie's not taking his calls, and the bastard don't have any money. Bills and shit is due, and it's backing up. Because if just in a couple weeks of you not dealing with Charlie, you already fucked up. You was fucked up in the first place. You should have shut your goddamn mouth. You can't even afford to have the conversation you had, Ralph Angel. And she told him, I ain't getting in it. He said, I'm not trying to put you in an advice. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You wanted her to come in and red cape. And she wasn't going to do it. Because you was out of order. And you was wrong. Over at his house, so he got that going on. You remember he treated Darla like shit, so Darla ain't been around, and now he's feeling so sorry for himself. Now I have to say, Blue I feel sorry for. Ralph Angel I don't feel sorry for. Ralph Angel is getting a much needed lesson in manhood, real live manhood. Okay, it's not just because you stand up in peace, sweetheart. There's more that goes to it. Blue says to him, I miss mommy. So you got, now you're faced with the little boy looking you in your face. He wants to know, did he do something wrong? Oh no, you didn't do nothing wrong. Is she mad at me? No, I ain't. No, she's not mad at you. I fucked up. I ran his mama away with your fuck shit. Anyway, speaking of Darla done went to see Charlie. Now this was good. This was good. I said, come on, Darla. She went to see Charlie and asked her, are we okay? And Charlie told her basically, no, we're not okay. You knew and you kept that information from me. And she let her know, yeah, I did, but you must keep in mind, it wasn't my truth to tell. What my truth to tell? That's Ralph Angel's truth to tell. And I'm not going to double cross Ralph Angel for you or anyone. I'm not going to do that. It just is what it is. I'm not even going to allow you to think that you're not going to do me. I'm going to come here. I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability as long as you allow me to do it. Now the ball is in your court. I said, she said it nicer than that, but that's what the fuck she meant. I said, work out, Darla, bitch. And it's starting to show, yes, Darla was a crackhead. Yes, Darla was a fuck up. But Darla got real good sense. And she came from a decent family, which is what we've actually seen. She does have some core elements about her that are really good and really irreplaceable. And I'm glad she's like tapping into it and really doing a good job of fixing herself, because I thought no one could have told me when we ended last season that Darla was not going to be Ralph Angel's downfall. But Ralph Angel is fucking, he's the one that's posing the downfall for Darla. Hold on to that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. Anyway, moving on. So Charlie was just sitting there looking simple, and you could tell again this all went into this exploration that she's doing and this whole reevaluation that's going on with Miss Charlie. She ended up having to, and you know, this is another one that I've gotten to a point where I ain't caring for very much. Remy is on my nerves when I tell you heavy. Remy's on my nerves. I want to punch him and leave little red marks all over his little light-skinned face, honey. He coming there now, he's telling her about the farmers, and the farmers now are having second thoughts, and they need to know something from her because she did this interview and he didn't like the interview, and why didn't she talk about her breakup in the interview, and this, that, thing, and that. You're on my nerves, Remy. Okay? You're on my nerves. I don't know how Charlie does it, because I would have definitely cussed Remy's ass out by now. Some of what he says is definitely accurate. Some of it, he's just a fucking whiny ass brat. And I would have cussed him out and told him, if you don't take that yellow dick and go away, I don't even want none. Just go away from me, you know. But she still, she likes him. Right? She likes him. She is infatuated with him, baby. But she does all this. She has a sit down. She has Aunt Vi did all the food. The food looked real good, child. They had all this really good food and everything, and they had to sit down, and she basically really talked to them and told them, you know, a story about her coming, you know, her story about when she was younger, or she used to come down there to the farm, and how she never actually felt a complete part. She just felt a little partial, but then as she got older, she just started to stop coming. But when she came back, and it was terrible that it had taken for her father to pass away for her to come back, and then she knew that this was home, and that her lineage is there, and she's just as much a part of that lineage as her brothers and sisters, and it's home, and I'm not going anywhere. I started something because I wanted to do something to honor my father and to honor myself and where I come from, and it's something that I can be proud of. And they were like all here for it. It was beautiful. It really was. You know, she said really, you know, a little few things, but it meant a whole bunch. It put them at ease. Mr. Prospect was, I like Mr. Prospect. Mr. Prospect was there, and he was pretty much leading the meeting or whatever. And he got up, you know, after Charlie said what she had to say, and he was really, he's like that father figure now. They don't really say anything, but when you really look at him, Mr. Prospect kind of stands in the gap where their daddy was at, especially when it comes to Remy and when it comes to Charlie. If you pay attention, Mr. Prospect does stand in that father gap a lot. He went up and he came and he led everybody into prayer, and he basically prayed Charlie into the community. It was very powerful. It was a very powerful scene. I really liked it. You all tell me, what did you all think about the scene and the whole thing of, was it just me, or that's what I got? It was like he literally prayed her in to the community, and I just thought that was a beautiful thing. I liked it. I did. I really liked it. I did. I liked that. So let's go back down south for a minute. Oh, and also whenever that happened, that was the first time we seen Vi and some peace. You can see some peace come over her at that point. She's like, okay, so that's taken care of, thank God. Okay, now let's go back down. Let's go to Atlanta. Over in Atlanta, we got Nova and Robert are at this dinner party, and they're with a lot of his colleagues and different things like that. It was a very bougie dinner. She looked very pretty though. She had this African inspired garb, and and her hair was sharp, and she really looked pretty, and she fit every bit of when he called her queen. That's very pretty. She looked very, very pretty. Had her, and I was like, come on, Rutina. I always thought Rutina was pretty sharp, though. Even when she played Tara on True Blood, I thought she was sharp. But anyway, okay, so they're having this dinner. These people were clearly bougie, clearly stuck up, and clearly racist, okay? So there ended up being this little debate at the table. Because, again, they know kind of who Nova is. And one guy it really got up underneath her skin. So she ended up saying what she had to say. And she walked out. So Robert came and he said, I'm glad you put him in his place. You know, this, that, thing, and the other. But you have to understand what my position is. Because, you know, they were trying to, the guy was an asshole. He was trying to lead her to believe, oh, well, he thinks the way that we think anyway. You're wrong. You're the clown here. He thinks how we think. And Nova ended up, that was that. And she ended up leaving. She left Atlanta and went back to New Orleans. I said, wow, okay. So let's switch back over to New Orleans, okay? They're back at the dinner. They're doing the dinner and everything. And that's when everything came kind of crashing in. We looked up and Hollywood and Charlie kind of walked up and, you know, in the midst of everything, and Aunt Vi's on the floor. She got passed out, completely passed out. I told y'all she was all stressed out. Charlie finally got up underneath her. And for y'all that don't know, stress is a silent killer. Stress will fuck you up. And there will be no warning or anything. Stress will take you down. And I'm not going to try to make this into a PSA, but it really will. You need to try to keep your stress level down as much as you can, because it just is, you know, when you think you're handling everything, it can get up underneath you and really do some bad things to you health-wise. Living, breathing witness. Anyway, so moving on back to what we were talking about. Okay, so Aunt Vi had passed out. That was a whole mess. And Charlie and Remy, they were like, oh no, we're taking you to see what's going on, because it could be anything. You never know. She was literally just flat on her back laying on the floor. It's like, oh my God. In the midst of that going on, Micah ends up walking up on Davis. He's on a date with the remember the other celebrity that they met when I said that she was going to be his next victim? Well, sure enough. But it started as a business meeting, and that's basically what he had told Micah, and Micah ended up walking up on him, and it had already switched over to like the date type of thing, and Micah went off right in the restaurant. Carried on, told him, you know, you're a liar. He's a liar. He's going to lie to you. You just lied to me a little bit ago when they were on the phone. He told him it was a business luncheon or whatever. A mess. I was like, oh my God, okay. In the midst of them getting that vibe, Aunt Vi told Charlie, you and your siblings, she said, I'm just stressed out. It is you all, and that's it. And y'all need to fix it, and fix it now. And that's it. I'm going to be fine, but y'all need to fix it and fix it now. So I knew then that all this shit with Charlie and Nova and that goddamn Ralph Angel, that shit was going to be nipped in the bud very, very quickly, and it was going to be Charlie to spearhead it, because when Aunt Vi talks, motherfuckers listen, Hollywood included. So that was that. Let's see. Micah and Davis end up that evening. Davis approached Micah and he's pissed. And he told him, you will not speak to me that way. You will not embarrass me in the streets, nor yourself the way that you embarrassed us today. I wouldn't give a shit what went on. You won't do it. I'm not going to have it. God damn it. I said, well, come on, Davis. I was like, all right. I mean, I was understanding both people's part. I don't give a fuck what I do. Don't do as I do as I fucking say. You're not going to talk to me crazy. I was like, okay, I feel that. So they ended up, they went on and he's listening. And then Mike is telling them, everything is your fault. We're down this dumb motherfucker because of you and what you did. You and mom are not together because of you and what you did. What happened to me is you and what you did. Had you not done what you did, you wouldn't have gave me that dumbass car. Then the shit would have never jumped off. So again, that's you and what you did. You are the problem. And he said to him, wait a minute, hold it. What happened? And Micah had his breakdown and he got the break and shit, knocking shit over. Telling him, don't ask me that. Don't ask me no more. And Davis knew, you could see it in his face. And this scene was acted out real good. The two of them, they did real good too. Come on, Ava. The casting on this is just shit. But Micah, he told him, you tell me. And he finally broke down and told him what happened. Well, this damn cop, basically, he said, I was telling him that I was your son, and he didn't believe me. And he said at first he was being real nice and everything, and he says, and then after a while I guess he believed who I was. And then he said, then once he knew who I was, then he started saying, he said he drove past the police station, and after he drove past the police station, then he stopped being nice. And I was like, oh Jesus, okay. So then he said, he was telling me, he said he kept saying something about I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth and this, that, and the other, and that he was going to knock that spoon right out of my mouth. He said he just kept saying that. Then he said he stopped the car and it was dark and there was nobody around. And he said he came into the back seat and he said he started that stuff again about knocking this silver spoon out my mouth. And he was saying how he was handcuffed. And I was like, no, he better not have pulled that goddamn Justin on Jeffrey shit. And he said that he ended up putting his gun in his mouth. Honey, at first I thought he had put his gun in his mouth, but his actual gun, honey, in his mouth. And he said, and he pulled the trigger. And he just broke down. He scared him. And he was saying he did not have to do that. You know what I mean? And I was looking in Davis's face, honey, and that's it. That little father thing in me, baby. I was like, oh, baby. When I tell you, it is those types of things that have cops stopped and tracked and fucked up. Because at that point, then you're not a cop. You're just a regular person. You're a regular person that did some fuck shit, and you need to be stopped and captured and fucked up. But whatever. I'm gonna leave that alone. Couldn't have been one of my boys, honey. So I was just looking at Davis's face, and I said, boy, we're going to revisit this again, honey. We're going to revisit this again. And I think Davis is going to use his power to do. You remember he already told you. He gets things done just because of who he is. This will be the time to have something done. And I am so here for it. And I can't wait to see what it is that gets done. Because when Charlie finds out, and I don't think Nova will be sitting too still with that bullshit either. Anyway, in the midst of all that going on, Nova's at home. She ends up going over to Aunt Vi's. She's talking to Aunt Vi. Aunt Vi's sitting there. She's rubbing Aunt Vi's feet, talking to Aunt Vi. Aunt Vi was reading her the right act and telling her, girl, let me tell you something. You pull yourself together. Stop all this evil shit and all this woman's liberation and standing up and being a hard girl. You got you a good man. Sound like a good man. You better grab hold to him and stop playing games. Stop being so damn militant. If you find something good, you better hold on to it. And that was a good thing to say to her Aunt Vi, because then a little bit after that, she was at home, honey, and there's a knock at the door. And remember, we're in New Orleans, baby. Dr. Duval was at the door. Dr. Dubois was at the door. And he came in there and he got to telling her he had all this paperwork, and he gets to explaining to her about what the plans actually were to take the asshole's beliefs and the things that he said. It's again the long-term con, baby, and to turn it all around and end up funding some things that are really going to be beneficial for New Orleans in the Ninth Ward, but using all the shit that he's done and said that were so out of order back on him. But it's again a long-term con. So, and Nova's like, okay, all right, cool, no problem. And he's like, and damn all that, and it came all the way down here. Girl, I need something from in this kitchen, honey. And I'm like, okay. And I'm looking around. She ain't cooked nothing, baby. Honey, the fish she wanted wasn't on the plates, honey. He picked her up, put her on the counter, baby. I said, up, great, tear her little cootie cat up again, honey. I said, go, get her. And he threw her up on that counter, honey. She just parted her legs on open, honey. As I said, honey, hold on to it. She held on to him all right, honey. I said, Miss Nova, yes, indeed, honey. So, child, I love them too. I love them too. I do. I love them too about as much as I love on Vine that damn Hollywood. So we got all that going on. He shut it on down. Darla. Let's talk about Darla. Darla actually had her, boy, this is turning out to be a long one, y'all. I'm sorry, 25 minutes, but that's okay. I'm going to keep on going. I don't give a shit. It's the mid-season finale. Anyway, so Darla had her 2-year in recovery celebration, and she was actually there, and it was really nice, and Ralph Angel showed up, and at the meeting, her sponsor came up, and she was a little out there, a little out of order, but she said what needed to be said. She told Ralph Angel, I hope that you're good for her. I hope that you have her best interest at hand, and I hope you don't make her backslide. She needs you to be strong. She needs you to be in her corner, and she don't need you fucking up. And I said, come on, white woman. Like, she was really, stretching. But he got the message, and he didn't get smart with her. He listened. And I was like, good, Ralph Angel. Because I was wondering if he was going to do something stupid to make me mad at you. But he took it. He took it like a man. And he listened to what the woman said. And then looked up. Charlie came and brought her these beautiful roses and everything. She was standing at the podium when Charlie came in. And you could tell she really was happy with that. And everything like that. Charlie and Ralph Angel actually got to talk at that point. And he approached her, and he didn't really apologize. He basically told her, the farm got this due and that due, and I just can't afford for you to just drop me, right? Like this, this, that thing, and the other, on. Basically, all this need for me when you didn't tell me you don't need me for shit. And I still need that check. Or you still gonna keep me on the payroll because I need that for my parole. And she told him, Ralph Angel, I don't give a goddamn how stupid you act. We are family. Nova and I are your sisters. And we're not, and we would not just drop you like that. And she left right there. Because I'm thinking, Charlie, old Charlie was saying, like you dropped us, like you want to drop us and talk shit to. She didn't even go there. She did not focus one moment on what he had done to them and how wrong it was. And it was. I wouldn't drop you like that, Raw. I got your back like I told you I'd have your back. We're going to get it together. Ain't no problem. I'm going to tell you how badly he had done fucked up. So then they end up going home. They're going home. And he was planning on surprise. They brought Blue in, and got Blue from Elvi and all that. And Darla and Ralph Angel are actually going into the house. Motherfucking lights is off. You fucked up so good and so bad that the lights is off. I guess. In New Orleans, it's hot in the motherfucker. He need to go lighten up some candles. The fucker is hot in here. Lighten up some damn candles. Then he had the nerve to tell her, I want you here. I want you here in this house. Tonight. And the next night. And night after that. And night after that. Then he busts out, honey, and proposed to her, honey. He got to crying. I said, oh, make me like you again. He's crying and shit. His beautiful black face, honey, and those tears, honey. Them tears look like crystal running down his beautiful black skin. I said, oh, got me, honey. So he gave her the ring, and she said yes. Honey, he put the ring on. But then I had a question. Where the fuck you get that ring and you ain't had no money to pay the light bill, you broke son of a bitch? Whatever. Anyway, so he proposed to Darla and she said yes. So that was where we ended out at. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know what the sister's gonna say. I know that Nova gonna have something smart to say, honey, and Aunt Vi too. Charlie too, probably, but we'll see. I don't know. Well, we gotta wait. So we got a week off, and then I'm gonna see you all back for Greenleaf. Get ready, because Greenleaf is getting ready to be something else. So I'll see you guys soon. Later.